With what Trump has done this time round, I am so happy because sometimes the decisions that he's taking is so outstanding. And I find it like it is something I would recommend. I would talk about it. I would say congratulations, and I would say kudos to him because that decision he has taken this time, it's very good. I want to appeal to Mr. President that charity always begins at home. Stopping funding the policemen who have been taken to Haiti because it's just a few days. The second section of the police from Kenya were taken to Haiti to go and do the so-called peace. The so-called peace because I'm placing it into brackets, calling it the so-called peace because in Kenya there is no peace, and we are struggling, looking, trying so hard to find that peace, but there is no peace. So I wonder how a president of a country would take the policemen of his own country to another country to go and make peace, whereof in his own country there is no the needed peace, the required peace. Okay, charity always begins at home. So stopping that funding, that money that US had promised to put in place to make sure that everything that is happening in Haiti during the actions of peacemaking is successful. I say and I say again, it's a good thing to do. And Donald Trump, there you have done so good, you've done so well. I appreciate you to that because whenever anything is good, let's talk about it. Let's appreciate. Okay, when something is bad, let's talk about it, let's condemn it. Because it's good when we talk when something is bad and condemn it so that people would know this is bad and we don't like it. It's good when we appreciate something that is good so that people, know, this one was done and it was good and we like it. As a Kenyan, as an African, I love what Donald Trump has done. Okay, the issue of carrying these Kenyan leaders, Kenyan politicians as children, it is something that has really destroyed Africa. You are carrying them as children, giving them whatever they want so that they can be able, they're behaving, it's like this continent does not belong to them. They're behaving it's like they don't care. Okay, at the end of the day, this money that has been circulating around in the name of we are funding the Kenyan policemen to Haiti. This money, I'm sure, because to some point I'm sure this money does not even go there. It does not mean like this money does not. It's not used in the way of helping those policemen, because at the end of the day we have greedy leaders and corrupt leaders, people who just like money is everything to them. Whenever they see money, they behave weirdly. They behave it's like they don't care about other humans. Okay, they behave it's like their life. They are the only people who are living under the universe. That there's no any other people who exist under the universe. Okay, so this money that they're being given, it gets to their pockets. It does not help people. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because when this report was given out that Donald Trump has frozen the funding that was going to Haiti, supporting the Kenyan military, Kenyan police, I've heard some clips where some Kenyan policemen are very happy about it. Because why are they happy? And why could they be happy? It's because the life they're going through there is not a good life. Okay? They're struggling. Sometimes maybe even that money is not, their life there is not kept very good. Okay? But they cannot complain. Why can't they complain? They can't complain because they don't want to tarnish the image of their country, or that they don't want to tarnish the inner image of the government. Okay? But at the end of the day, something that is bad should be spoken out. Because I believe that African leaders and African puppets, this money that they're being given does not help a single Kenyan. Be it policemen in Haiti, be it our country in particular, be it in terms of development, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of education, in terms of health services, in terms of agricultural sector, it does not help anywhere. It doesn't help anywhere. This money ends up at the pocket of the puppets, at the pockets of the greedy leaders who are in government, okay, together with the other great leaders who are surrounding them, and that money just disappears and vanishes from that point. It does not get to people. It does not get to people. So United States of America, through Donald Trump, In that part, I'm really, really, really supporting you. And I know every person would jump into this to support you, because Africa should start depending on itself. We've gotten to a point when we have to depend on ourselves because we have all things that it takes. We have been saying this all the times, repeating it again and again, that we have everything that it takes for us to be able to support ourselves, to be able to stand by our own selves, because we have everything. We have all the riches, every wealth, we have it within our land, within our territories, within our boundaries. I don't see the reason as to why we should be going out there trying to maybe borrow money, or trying to maybe attract some foreign leaders to come and help us. Well, we know we can be able to stand by ourselves and help ourselves. Africa has got people with great mind, people who their thinking capacity is higher beyond what you can imagine. But we're not using those people. We leave those people. They end up going into the foreign countries. They build the foreign countries. They stay there. They're making them grow. Like, for example, this man from Zimbabwe called Maxwell Chikonbutso, he was in the United States of America. And if it would not have been, he was blocked down not to come out with his invention, he would have come out with that invention in the US, and while there, it would have actually raised and developed United States of America. But he came to Africa because he was abandoned, like he was treated bad. He came back to Africa, and he has invented it from Africa, which means in Africa we have great minds. We have people in Africa who can really help Africa, okay? In terms of everything, in terms of military, in terms of all things. Look at what is happening in Congo. The M23, even the UN had to brought their forces. Okay, the France military had to bring their militaries in Congo. But what happened at the end of the day? The M23 still defeated them, which means here in Africa we have people who are potential. Okay, but we are trying to block these people from coming out because Africa is a continent that is designed to be poor. So for them to continue invading and reigning in Africa, we must continue to be poor. So what do? What they do, they keep on taking advantage of our disability, taking advantage of our downfall for them to continue reigning here, because by that we shall continue being poor. And by for us continuing being poor, it gives them an opportunity to stay in Africa. And so what Donald Trump is doing is like opening the eyes of Africans. It is high time all Africans should come out and start depending on themselves as a continent. Unite, come together, put your minds together, let's think together, let's bring ideas on how we're going to build Africa by ourselves. For how long are we going to continue getting funds from the US? For how long are we going to continue getting funds from France? For how long are we going to continue getting funds from the UK, from the Britain, and all those countries? While here we can still do things ourselves. Okay? So stopping the funding of the policemen who are in Haiti in the name of keeping peace, it is a good step. It is a good thing that Donald Trump has done, and I am supporting him fully on that. Because this issue of giving out money to the African leaders, African politicians, at the end of the day, this money does not get to help anybody. It should be a no. Yeah, Ibrahim Traore said that we have been getting money for the last 60 years. We've been getting funds for the last 60 years. But those funds has never helped us even a little bit. We are still stuck at the same point, even with these funds that we've been getting all this time. Okay? So even if these funds got cut today, nothing will happen, because with those funds, nothing has happened. With those funds, nothing has happened. Without them, still nothing will happen, because this money comes and they get to the pocket of the politicians who are greedy, who are corrupt. They don't care about people. They don't care about the country. They don't care about the development of the country, about the education sector, about the health, about the agricultural sector. They don't care about the matters concerning the country. They only care about themselves and their families. What are they told? We are giving you money. Do this and this and this and this. Just make sure you are living good. Don't care about other people. That is what they are told. And that is why you'd find a mother in the village crying because of this. That's why you'd find people in the street. They are walking in the street. They don't have anywhere to go. Children are not going to school. Mothers are crying because they don't have food to feed their children. They cannot breastfeed their children because anger is everywhere. Okay? Nothing is happening. Instead of a country growing, it still continues like going backwards every time. So you find out, like in 10 years, of development, the country still remains that way. In 20 years, in 30 years, in 50 years, nothing happens. A road that was started building 10 years ago, it has not even come to an end. A school that was started building 20 years ago has not come to an end. Which kind of a work is that? They're doing it that way because they've been asked, do this and do this and do this. To some point, I would support the government of Donald Trump to some point because of doing this. Africans should depend on themselves. I know there's some things that I do not agree with him, but on some other things like these ones, congratulations. And that is a good decision to make. Let Africans depend on themselves. The issues of getting and waiting for funds every other time, and that fund, you're just waiting for that fund to take that money into your pocket, it's a no, a big no. Okay? So Kenyan policemen should get out of Haiti, come back to Kenya and make peace in Kenya. Maintain peace in Kenya. Charity begins at home. Start by building home. You cannot go out and build neighbor's home when your own home is in shambles. Your own home is in hackers. Is like your home is not even at good condition. Okay? It's not in good condition. And you're going out there, you want to make other people, like, make peace in other people's home. What is that? Yeah? You're doing it because you need money, not because you want to make peace. In your own country, there is no peace. Make peace in your own country before you think about making peace in the neighbor's home. Seriously, come on. We shouldn't be living like that. That's not how we're supposed to be living. And from that point, I congratulate and I support Donald Trump. Freeze that money. Let Kenyan policemen get out of Haiti and come back to Kenya. Our policemen are dying in Haiti in things that does not make sense. Okay? Why should they intrude in other matters and other people's matter? Does it concern them? You're coming all the way from Africa to Haiti in Caribbean, so far, miles away. And people who are sending you to Haiti to go and make peace, they are close to each other, where they can flee that just 3, 5, 6, 7 hours to go to Haiti and make peace there. You are going 2 days, or rather, you flying from Kenya to Haiti. It is very far. You're going there to make peace. How many countries have they jumped here to come to Kenya and carry policemen from Kenya to go and make peace? Yeah? You're making peace to, like, what are you doing in other man's land? If you're killed there, to whom are you going to complain? Those policemen you've taken there to go and put them there, they're dying there. That blood is in your hands. Okay? Because they're dying doing nothing. They're not dying helping their people. Those policemen would be fighting here in Kenya to make peace in Kenya, and they die while fighting in Kenya. We would say, these people died fighting for their country. But why are you dying fighting for the country that does not belong to you? The rebels in Haiti and the Haitian government, they know the problem that is within them. They know the problem. They know the reason as to why they are fighting, and they should sort their problems out in a diplomatic way. There are diplomatic ways of solving issues. They need to solve issues diplomatically. They sit down, they have a dialogue, they agree in each other, and then they solve their issues. They get to solve their problems by themselves. Haiti is not in Africa. It is not among us. You'd say maybe you're part of the African Union, now you can go and help. Haiti is not in Africa. Okay, people are dying and fighting in Congo. Why don't you go to Congo and try to make peace in Congo? Peace does not come by the shooting of guns. I tell you that every day. Just the shooting of guns does not bring peace. Peace only comes when you sit down and talk to people. You cannot go to Haiti fighting people and killing people and saying you're making peace. That's not peace. Donald Trump, you've done right on that, and I salute you on that. On that one, really, I will salute you and I will say thank you. Continue doing that. If it's about making Africa depending on themselves, then we are good for that. I am good for that. I don't question you. I don't ask anything. I just want you to continue making Africans start depending on themselves. Let them depend on themselves. They have everything that it takes for them to depend on themselves. So kindly, whatever you're doing is very good and it's very nice. Let me see what you have to say in the comment section. That is just my opinion. I'll do my best to make sure I'm reading all of them and comment and reply to them where possible. African Streamline is your place. I say every day, when you find yourself in African Streamline, just know you are at home, and feel free to comment, feel free to say anything, feel free to bring your ideas so we can be able to talk together and know what we are looking forward to do. At the end of the day, we are fighting for the freedom and for the revolution of Africa, because Africa is home, and anything that concerns Africa concerns me and you as Africans. I love you so much. much, my brothers from diaspora, from Caribbean, and from Africa in particular. You're great people. You're good people. Continue doing what you're doing for the freedom and for the revolution of Africa. All right. Adios, guys.